It's the end of the year, and instead of hoping that good things are going to happen to our guitar playing, let's make sure good things happen this year. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome, friends, to this episode of the Play Guitar Podcast. I am Lee, and this is the podcast that's determined to make you a better guitar player. No matter if you're just starting out or you've been playing for years, this is the show that will help you become the guitarist that you always wanted to be. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and check out the description for all of the links from the show. Well, hey there. Happy holidays, everyone. This is kind of old school podcasting for me. No video today. I'm on my break. This was my 1 week break for the year. And so my treat to myself was not filming today and not editing as well too. I'm just doing this just the way I used to do. Just press record and go and have some fun with you today. This is the last week of the year. Traditionally, this is this podcast has a lower download count. People are, having family time. Some people having their vacation after, in between Christmas and New Year's. And, for those who are listening to me, you are the hardcore audience, and you're awesome. So that's all I got to say about that. You're awesome. What we're going to do today is I'm going to talk a little bit about getting ready for next year. That's what I've been doing this week. I was hoping to get everything figured out before the new year comes in, and I've started that already. I've got new things coming. I've got all the podcast episodes pretty much figured out. I'm going to be doing teaching songs on YouTube. I'm getting those figured out now. I'm making everything real. So all of the ideas of the things that I wanted to do this year, they're just swimming around in my head. And now I'm taking the time beforehand, instead of doing things last minute, or instead of flying by the seat of my pants, I am making these things happen. Now, of course, over time, I'm going to take some left turns. I'm going to change my mind about some things. But the moment that I write these things down, or I enter them into whatever way that we record things, they become real to me anyway. And so I was hoping that you would hang out with me today and really think about your guitar playing. And this would be perfect for someone who is struggling or is just not feeling like things are moving as quickly as they would like them to, or you've maybe never even thought about this stuff at all. You're just having fun playing guitar, and you're getting to the point where, hey, we got to do something with this thing now. So one of the things that I'm going to say this up front, so I don't forget to do it later. One of the new things that we're doing this year for people in the Academy, we have Guitar Boost Camp 2024. This is 14 days, the first 14 days of the year. And this is a kickstart to get you back on track and get you motivated for the guitar. I'll be going live every single day for 14 days. And each day we're going to talk about one of the things that you could get solid in your practicing that will carry you for the rest of the year. What's going to be cool about this is not only is it just for members of the Academy, but I also have a try out the Academy for $1 for 14 days deal going on. So you could come in for $1, hang out with me for 14 days, get your playing together, and then decide whether you would want more of that in the Academy. We're going to be doing a lot of these things this year. So I'm going to be getting your guitar playing going, mine as well. I'm going to be learning a lot of songs and putting a lot of songs on YouTube this year. 52, one a week. So I'm going to be getting my stuff together as well too. So it's going to be fun. But let's talk today about getting prepared. Most people with guitar, they never even think about doing that. They don't think about getting prepared. They just play and they think, oh, I need to work on this next. So, well, maybe I need to work on this next. It's all kind of very stream of consciousness, right? But if you just humor me for a little bit, and I'm going to go through my typical preparation list here. Here they are. Looking back at the years, the first one, assessing current skills, setting goals for the next year, creating a practice plan. I said I'm not I'm not editing today, so it's a practice plan, not a practice plan. Exploring new techniques, a gear check, educational resources, connect with the community, and reflect and adjust. Those are the main topics that I go through when I'm starting to prepare for the new year. And let's take a look at that. Looking back at the year that we've just been through. The few years before that, we've had a horrible time. But this was as normal as it's been in a few years, right? A normal kind of year. We had time to do some things. Most people aren't doing, what do they have, the revenge vacations? I live in vacation land, USA here. And last year was, 2022 was a lot of vacationing going on. But 2023, we've settled down. We're back to normal. And how was your guitar playing this year? Did you have any wins? Did you have any failures this year? Failures, complete failures. I had a few failures this year. I had a lot of wins this year too. And so I know I'm in a good place. What would happen if I just had all wins this year? For everything that I tried in guitar or in the business or in the podcast, if everything that I tried was perfect, I'd be a little worried. I'd be a little worried that I wasn't pushing myself hard enough. I was coasting through. I tried some things. I was out on the edge a little bit. I was a little, a little fearless on some things. And did everything that I do this year work out great? No. But overall, I'm moving forward pretty quickly. So if you look back at your guitar playing, if everything you did, was it everything easy? If you just did win after win after win after win, if that's all you had, maybe you might want to push yourself just a little bit harder. Maybe you might want to challenge yourself with some things. Try to light a fire a little bit, move forward a little bit, go against the resistance of some things that you think, oh, I may not be able to do that. I mean, I think you might be ready if you're in that place, if everything's so easy there. But look back at what worked and what didn't work. And if you can, write them down, make them real, put them on a piece of paper with a pencil or a pen like that. That'll work. The next thing is assessing your current skills. What are you strong at? What are you not so strong at? Do you even know? Maybe you might want to record yourself and take a listen to your playing and see, hey, what could I really work on? What are some things that in my head I'm doing great, but when I listen, oh my gosh, I didn't know what I was playing sounded like that. Have you ever felt that way? I've felt that way many times. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I sounded like that. That's not what it feels. It's not what it sounds like inside my head when I'm figuring out what I'm going to play, right? But assessing these things, assessing your strengths and your weaknesses, making sure that you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your guitar playing. I have something that I've mentioned a lot of times. This is not the coolest thing in the whole world. On my main page of the PlayGuitarAcademy.com website, I've got a bunch of free things. And one of those for free that I have is my high performance guitarist scorecard. I haven't looked in a while, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that will probably be the least downloaded freebie that I have. And it is probably the most important one out of all of them. It's the one that will help you the most. And it's not a sexy kind of thing. It's not, it's not exciting. But what it does is it forces you to put a number on a bunch of different aspects of learning guitar and guitar playing in general. You have to sit down and rate yourself 1 to 10 on each of these things. And you get a visual representation of where you are with the guitar. It's very, very important. And what you do with it is you look at the things, say you got a bunch of things that are 3s and 4s, and then you have a lot of things that are 7s and 8s. Well, you try to get your 3s and 4s up so that you have a nice straight line across where you have all of them, within a number or two. And then everything starts to move forward together quicker than it did before. So it's really, 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 I use it with my coaching students, and I thought, man, I'd love to share this. There are some people that are going to take me up on this and really, really have a lot of results from something like this. So that's the thing. Go over there and grab that. The High Performance Guitarist Scorecard. It will take you 10 minutes to do, and it will focus your playing right away. The next thing we're going to talk about is setting goals. Setting goals for the next year. How many times have you heard somebody say, well, you need to set some goals? And you go, yeah, I need to set some goals. And then that's less you think about it, right? And then maybe in the back of your mind, you think, I'd like to do this, or this. Being specific, defining specific guitar goals for the upcoming year. What do you need to do? And what do you want to do? What are those two things? And for those, the need to do and the want to do are both very important. If you're doing a lot of stuff that you don't like on the guitar, naturally you're going to avoid it. You're going to drift away from it. But if you are also avoiding the things that you need to, if I got it mixed up, no editing today. What are the things you need to do? What are the things you want to do? You can't avoid the necessary things, but you also want to have fun with the things that you want to do. It's got to be exciting to play guitar too. And what do you do after that? You break your goals down into manageable pieces. You don't just say, okay, I'm going to learn everything there is to know about fingerstyle this week. And then next week, I'm going to learn about fast picking and all of the different. No, you can't do that. We need to have manageable tasks. We need to be reasonable about this. These things take time. What do they call it? SMART goals. Have you ever heard that? That's an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If you can do them all of your goals that way, things will start to move forward quickly. After this, so what have we done so far? We've looked back at the year. We've assessed current skills. We've set goals for the next year. Now it's time to create a practice plan, a structured routine. This is going to really, really help you. I know in the past when I didn't have a structured routine, even though I would practice on a regular basis, what I would practice was haphazard. Have you ever had guitar lessons? I had these when I was growing up, where the guitar teacher basically taught you what he felt like playing that day. And then you come back in a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. And then it was like you never even worked on that stuff this week. There's a whole new set of things that they want to learn because the guitar teacher wants to do these now. And then 2 weeks later, it's something completely different. And you have these disjointed lessons and you're not getting the power of repeating things, the power of working on things over and over again and then refining them and moving them forward through time. You're doing little pockets of things. Some would call that seat of your pants teaching. Had a few guitar teachers like that. Teaching guitar is notorious for that. Maybe getting better now that there seems to be some more systems going on. But yeah, you're if you allocate your time for your different things, different techniques, different styles, you've got songs you're working on, make sure you have different times, everything's structured. Then you can make decisions about things. Then you can say, okay, I've worked on that for 2 weeks. I think I've got it. I think it's time to move on to something else. What's the next step up from that? So being able to explore new things too when you're ready. That's a big question I get from a lot of students. Am I ready to move on yet? How long should I work on something? How deep should I go in these things? In guitar, each thing that we work on, if I say, okay, learn your C major scales, that can get really deep. I might just want you to play them in open position, just one octave. Or I might want you to play them in the 3-note per string scales all the way across the fretboard. I might want you to play them in sequences. You can always get deeper on something. When is it time to move on and to explore new techniques? That takes a little bit of research and maybe asking a guitar teacher, someone who's been playing for a long time. Is this something I need to spend a ton of time on, or is this something that over time, the more I play it, the deeper I'll be able to go with it when I'm ready for that? Gear check would be the next thing. So a lot of us, especially new players, you think you went out and you bought that guitar and you think it should be ready to go. I spent money. I put the money down. It came out of my account. The guitar should be ready for me to play. That is not always the case. One, the way a guitar could be set up for one person is different for another person's hands. One person may have smaller hands. One person may have bigger hands. You may not like the way that the strings, how far the strings are away from the fretboard. Some people like that. Everyone's different when it comes to these things. So making sure that your guitar is not fighting you, that you get a nice clean tone out of it. You're not getting tons of buzzes and notes that are fretting out all the time. We want to make sure that when you practice, you're going to practice with a guitar that will stay with you, that's not fighting you, and it's not going to be something that you will be, I'm just going to keep this for a while. You want to have something it doesn't cost very much, but you want to have something that, okay, I'm practicing on this guitar, and I can take this guitar and take it to any kind of performance. I can get up in front of somebody and this guitar is good enough to play in front of other people. So, and that also goes for your amplifier, especially if you're using tube amps, keeping them maintained. That's a lot. But getting all those things ready for the new year, making sure that you've got everything. And, most people will get some gear this time of year anyway. So maybe you get yourself set up, a practice amp, those things. But getting your gear together, the gear check. Next thing to get together before we move into the new year is your educational resources. So where are you going to learn this stuff from? I learned stuff from I've got stuff available for you to learn from. I've got the things that are going on now. It's this $7 chord elevation toolkit and my Solos That Make Sense bundle. Still have both of those available. What are you going to learn from? Where are you wanting to start? Are you going to say, hey, I think I need to take a few steps back and revisit some things and move forward? You're going to have to do a little research there, exploring some educational, like books, videos. It could even be go back to the old podcasts. We have a ton of podcasts now and all sorts of different things. And a lot of them have really good ideas about common problems that people have. So you may be one of those people that these podcasts help. So maybe go back for those and make a list. Make a list of places, things, recordings, videos that you would like to learn from this year. Okay, we have 2 more left. And then we'll be completely prepared for this year. That's community. Engaging with other people around the guitar. I know that other people, scary, right? Who knows what they're going to think? They might say something we don't like, right? But let me tell you something. Some of the times, the time, I've spoken about this for a long time ago. I think I mentioned it. The thing I remember about my learning guitar in music school, the thing I remember the most was sitting outside the lesson. I don't even remember what the lessons were, but the other guitar players, we would sit around and talk about it, talk about what they were learning. And it made me want to keep up with them, right? It was inspirational and motivational. Listen to what that guitar player sounds like. What are you learning there? Oh, I want to do those things. Connecting with community is very important. You can do that with your friends. If you have someone who likes guitar and talking back and forth, it always helps. We have a wonderful community in the academy. We get together, we get together every Wednesday, and we have a Q&A every single Wednesday. And we have an awesome group of people, and it's a whole range. We have people who are just starting the guitar and people who've been playing for a very long time. And all of the questions are important. Someone who comes in and is new to the guitar may phrase a question in a way that someone who's been playing for 3 or 4 years could never bring it to. They might have been confused about something and they didn't know how to put it into words. That's happened many, many, many times, where someone says, hey, I don't feel like I should be here because there's a lot of people farther along than me, but I really want to know what this is or that is. And then every time someone will tell me later, oh, you know what? I really had that question too. I just didn't know how to ask it. And on the flip side, we have players who've been playing for years, good players, right? And they're asking questions that may be a little above someone who's just starting, but they're hearing where they're going to go. Oh, what are these, what are diatonic chords? What is that? That's something I'm going to need to know. It kind of points you in the right direction. Oh, all these things, I may not know what they are yet, but I know that that's where I'm heading. And it may cause you to sit down and say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to find out what that is today. It's a very, very, very good experience. And it's, when you have a shared experience like we do every Wednesday, it's really something. And finally, to get prepared, reflect and adjust. And adjusting is the most important part to any kind of plan, any kind of preparation as you're going, right? This is what we're talking about here is not written in stone. Okay. You may think in January that you really need to know modes. And then maybe by May, you're still working on something that's more important to that than that for you. So let's be flexible with these things. If it's not done, you don't have a direction. The problem is sometimes when you do have it done and you are going in a certain direction, sometimes it veers off course and you've got to make an adjustment. So maybe once every month or 2 months, have a reflection. Find out, okay, this is what I was wanting to do, and this is how it turned out. Do I need more time with this before I move on, or is there something, or am I ready to go into something that I didn't even think about when I figured out my plan before? So schedule times where you can assess how you've been doing and what your program is and which way you're going to go, and then adjust your goals and your practice plan to meet that. How about that? This was awesome. I'm going to do a lot more podcasts like this. I actually did a mind map today. Have you guys seen mind maps? It's kind of like there's a central theme and then little things all the way around it. And I just had all these ideas here just to talk about today. Look at us. We're at 24 minutes and 40 seconds right now. And I was just really going to come in and say happy holidays and hope you had a wonderful Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever that you celebrate. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season here. Remember, members of the Academy, we're going to have a 14-day Guitar Boost Camp 2024. It's 14 days that's going to get you started and get you moving, energized. If you're a little bit down, I'll bring you back up. I am ready to do this. And it starts, what's today? Today is, I'm recording this on the 27th. This will start next Monday, January 1st, 2024 in the Academy. And click the link in the description that will take you to the $1 trial period, which is a 14-day trial period. You can go in on Monday, pay the $1, take you all the way through, and then you can decide whether you would like to stay or not. Okay. And I would love to see you over there, and I can help you get started. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. And again, happy holidays, and I will see you in